Good afternoon, my dear children. How are you all? You're all fine, right? Very good. So, today we are going to see History chapter 7, that is Ashoka, the emperor who gave up war. So, we are going to see chapter 7, that is Ashoka, the emperor who gave up war. Okay, who gave up war. Okay, we are going to see this lesson today. Okay, dear children. So, before starting the lesson, take a note and start taking notes while you are listening class. So, whenever you listen class, keep always habit of taking notes. That will help you a lot. Okay, dear children. So, first, a very big kingdom, an empire. So, very big kingdom is equal to an empire. So, Ashoka was one of the greatest rulers of history. So, who is one of the greatest ruler? Ashoka. So, Ashoka was one of the greatest rulers of history. Okay, and he ruled empire found by his grandfather Chandragupta Maurya over 2300 years ago. So, this empire was founded by his grandfather named Chandragupta Maurya over 2300 years ago. Okay, dear children. So, Ashoka was one of the greatest rulers of history and he ruled empire founded by his grandfather Chandragupta Maurya over 2300 years ago. Okay, dear children. Next, he was supported by a wise man named Chanakya or Kautilya. So, he was supported by a wise man called Chanakya. What is his name? Chanakya. So, Ashoka was supported by a wise man named Chanakya. So, Chanakya's ideas were written down in Arthashastra. So, there is some book called Arthashastra. In that, Chanakya's ideas were written down. There were several cities in the empire, which included the capital is Pataliputra, Taxila, Ujjain, as well as Taxila, a gateway to the northwest, including Central Asia. So, what are the cities in the empire? Pataliputra, that is the capital, Taxila and Ujjain. And also Taxila, that is the gateway to the northwest, including Central Asia. Next, Ujjain. So, that lay route from north to south India. So, what is making the route? Ujjain lay route from north to south India. Merchants, officials and craft persons lived in these cities. Okay. In other areas, there were villages of farmers and herders. Okay. In central India, there were forests where people gathered forest produce and hunted animals for food. Okay. So, first merchants, officials and craft persons, they lived in cities. Then village farmers and herders lived, and in forest people gathered forest produce and hunted animals for food. For food they hunted animals and also for produce like fruits, vegetables they have taken for food. People in different parts of the empire spoke different languages and ate different kinds of food. They wore different kinds of clothes as well. So, in the empire, different parts, they spoke different languages. Like us, Tamil, Malayalam, they had spoke different languages. Then ate different kinds of food, variety of foods. Then different kinds of clothes. Okay, dear children? Okay. Then, how are empires different from kingdoms? So, emperors need more resources than king as they are larger than kingdom. So, empire are larger than the kingdom. Empire are larger than the kingdom. So, emperors need more resources than king because it is larger than kingdom. King rules kingdom, emperor rule empire. Okay, they need to be protected by big armies and They also need a large number of officials who collect taxes. So emperors, they need big army for protection, and also they need large number of officials to collect taxes from people. Ruling the empire. Large empire in different parts were ruled differently. So the parts in the empire were ruled differently. The area around Pataliputra were under the direct control of the emperor. So the main area Pataliputra, that was under the direct control of the emperor. Okay. Officials were appointed to collect taxes from farmers, herders, craftspersons and traders. Okay. So officials were appointed to collect taxes from which people? Farmers, herders, craftspersons and traders. They also punished those who disobeyed the ruler's orders. So, if anyone disobey ruler's order, they will be punished. Okay. Officials were given salaries. Officials were given salaries. Officials were given salaries. Messengers went to and fro. These messengers, they will be going to and fro to send messages. Because in olden days, there were no cell phones, no telephones. So, to send messages, what they will do? Messengers will take the message from one place to the next. Okay. Also, spies kept watch on the officials. There will be more spies. They will be secretly watching all the officials whether they are doing the work properly. If not, they will inform to the emperor. Okay, the emperor supervised them all. Who will supervise everyone? Emperor. They will supervise everyone with the help of members of the royal family and senior ministers. So, emperor will supervise all the work done by everyone with the help of members of this royal family and senior ministers. Then other areas or provinces were ruled from a provincial capital such as Taxila or Ujjain with some amount control of from Kataliputra, and loyal princes were often sent as governors. So, some of the area or province, they will be controlled from a provincial capital such as Taxila or Ujjain with some amount of control from Pataliputra, and royal princes were sent as governors. Who were sent as governors? Royal princes were sent as governors. Then local customs and rules were probably followed, and there were vast areas between these centers. So, local customs and rules will be followed by that people. Then Mauryas tried to control roads and rivers important for transport. So, they control the road and rivers that are important for transport. They collected whatever resources were available as tax and tribute. So, they collected all the resources were available at tax and tribute. So, tax, it is like fixed. They have to pay this much amount of tax to the kingdom or the emperor. Okay. Then tribute means sometimes they have to give to the king as a tribute. Okay. As a gift, they have to give to the king. Sometimes they will be willingly, they will be giving, or sometimes less willingly because they have to give so that they can get some prize or some good name from the king, so they will be giving. Okay. Then Ashoka, a unique ruler. So, who is a unique ruler? Ashoka. So, he has some speciality. So, famous Mauryan ruler. So, Ashoka is a famous Mauryan ruler, and he was the first ruler who tried to take his message to the people through inscriptions. So, through writing on the inscriptions, he tried to take his message to everyone. So, nowadays also if somewhere we can see some messages written on that wall and all, right. So, similarly he tried to express his messages to the people through inscriptions written on the rock and written on that hot surface. Then these inscriptions were in Prakrit and written in script. So, in different script it will be written. So, Ashoka War in Kalinga. So, Ashoka, he won that place Kalinga. So, Kalinga was the ancient name of coastal Orissa. So, what is the ancient name of coastal Orissa? Kalinga. So, Ashoka fought a war to conquer Kalinga, but he was like disappointed after seeing the violence and bloodshed, and after that he decided like not to fight any more wars. We should not fight war. He decided like that. He was the only king in the history of the world who gave up his conquest after winning a war. Even after winning a war, he is not interested to success, interest to feel the success. He not want that place. Okay, he is just thought like we should not fight a war and we should not make war. Okay, so who was Ashoka's? What was Ashoka's Dhamma? So Dhamma, like Dharma, what is his main? He is like, he did not involve worship of a god or performance of a sacrifice. He was inspired by the teaching of Buddha. By whom, my dear children? By the teaching of Buddha. So there are many problems in that area, like people following different religion, there were fights between them, animals were sacrificed and quarrels in families, nations. So these all who have to solve, Ashoka's duty was solve these problems. So he appointed officials known as Dhamma Mahamadam. Dhamma Mahamadam. So they went from place to place teaching people about Dhamma. So good things. So he sent this Dhamma Mahamada to place to send and teach good things to the people. His messages were inscripted on rock and pillars, and he instructed his officials like Dhamma Mahamada and officials to read that message, those who could not read, and deliver all the good messages to all the people. He also sent messengers to spread ideas about Dhamma to other land also, to Dhamma, that good ideas, good messages, they have to spread, right? So he sent messengers to other land also, like such as Syria, Egypt, Greece and Sri Lanka. He built roads, dug wells and built rest houses and arranged medical treatment for both human beings and also animals. Okay, he helped human beings also as well as animals also. Okay, dear children, so that's all for today's video. Okay, dear children, that is very easy lesson, right children? So what is the chapter name? Ashoka, who gave up the war. Okay, dear children, in that we have seen about Ashoka and what is his policy and how he ruled his empire and how unique he is. Okay, so just go through this video once again, you will understand everything. So thank you children, have a nice day.